people, it's your girl Adeola. Oh, Father, you think you know people, but you don't. If you want to marry somebody, make sure that you know who they really are. Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, Today, I just want to beg my fellow Nigerians, wherever you are in this world, in any country you are, please, know that you are representing us, and that people will judge us based on your character. How can we be dealing with bandits in Nigeria, and then somebody will be in America and be a bandit in America? Yes, I'm about to talk about that man that brought us shame. But I will also talk about another Nigerian man that is making us proud in the same America. First of all, guys, 29-year-old Charles Chukwuma Onwemile. He's now popularly known in America as the Blue Cloth Bandit of Edley. After my brother here, in fact, you are not my brother, robbed at least 68 gas stations, Ilepo, robbing the cashiers, and 7-Eleven stores, as well as Walmart. You are not even afraid. 68 different times, because not only you are come.
One man with a signature blue cloth covering his gun may be behind nearly 70 armed robberies of businesses around LA County for the past year. Last Friday, detectives arrested 29-year-old Charles Onwumeli at his home in Quartz Hill for a serial crime spree at gas stations, Walmarts, and 7-Elevens.
At some point, this brother must have believed that he would never be caught. I mean, for you to keep going after the first robbery, second robbery, and you are not afraid. And in every robbery, he would wear the same boots, the same blue latex gloves. He will cover his handgun with a blue cloth, which is why they now call him the Blue Cloth Bandit. I mean, I don't think it can be an easy thing to be a thief. Don't you think, especially in this America? You must plan and strategize. It cannot be easy. Now, imagine if you will put the same energy into a job or into a business. In this America, with all the opportunities that this country offers, but no, you just have to be a thiefy somebody. How can you see somebody looking like this? I mean, he looks so decent, How would anybody ever think that this brother is a thieving brother? Which is why I was saying at the beginning that sometimes you think you know people, but you don't. By the way, in July, this past July, he had a beautiful, elegant wedding. His wife is the one I feel sorry for now, and all the family members of both parties, Do you know that they met in church? You see, that somebody is going to church or mosque does not mean they actually fear God. So apparently they met in 2012. So some people are saying, 10 years, and you did not know that the guy is a thief. Some people may not know. I don't blame her. So my sister or my brother, if you want to marry somebody, make sure that you pray, and then you must investigate. If somebody is spending above their means, love is not blind. True love can see very well. Better shine your eye. The wedding was elaborate. All those people now will be in shock. My people, anywhere you go as a Nigerian, as an African, as a black person, please and please do not embarrass us, even if you want to embarrass yourself. Know that if you are doing anything illegal in this part of the world, that they will catch you someday. It may take time, but they will catch you. While so many of us are working so hard to represent, we are working so hard. So one person will just come like that, just destroy our names. And so that, the good thing, like I said at the beginning, is that I have the story of another Nigerian that is making us proud in this same America. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet 43-year-old Nicholas Efemina Ohehime, originally from Warri in Nigeria. This brother has an inspiring story, by the way. He said that things were really tough for him when he was living in Nigeria. In fact, he said that he used to beg people for food.
I remember that while I was back in Nigeria, at a point in my life, I was literally begging for food to eat, to feed myself and my children and family. At a point in my life, I couldn't afford a shirt to wear. I had to beg a friend to please give me his clothes.
And then he said that there were times that his children would cry for food and he's not able to provide, so he's also crying. But then one day he approached a friend who is a pastor for money to buy food, and this is what he said that his friend said.
He said, if I give you food from my church or give you food from my kitchen, it's the same as giving the food that belongs to my church members to you. And as the scripture says, that is like throwing the food that belongs to the children to dogs. As I was standing on the road, I was beginning to think that suicide made sense.
Wow, he wanted to kill himself to end everything. But I'm so glad that he did not, because shortly after that, he got a letter of acceptance to Oral Roberts University, where he had applied to further his studies. And then he went for an interview, and his visa was approved, and in August of 2019, he moved to the US.
After I passed through all that and I came to this country and started to work and earn money, and I discovered that my prayer was that someday I can buy food for myself with my own money. And when that day comes, I'm going to remember people who were once in my shoes, who cannot afford food with their own money.
Now, what inspires me in his story is that when he started working at Cheesecake Factory and making little money, he remembered where he was from. So he would send money back to Nigeria from his salary for his wife to give to families that could not afford food, starting with his neighbor in Nigeria. He had a neighbor who was a single mom of 3 children. And then from there, he started sponsoring other people to acquire skills that could help them to stand on their own, like sending people to fashion school, culinary school, so that they can have their own means of income. And he did that for 2 years, using his own personal money to take care of several other families in Nigeria. And then last year, he launched his own charity organization in Tennessee called Make Charities. And do you know that he's not just sending money to Nigeria, he's also giving out food and t-shirts to homeless people here in America. I mean, he's really representing us well. So Nicholas wrote a book about his journey, and he titled it World Beyond Rescue. And so in this book, he talked about his journey, but also, in case anybody buys the book, please know that he's a Christian, and so he approached the things he wrote from the Christian perspective. So he talked about God and so on as well in his book, so I don't want you to be surprised. So he launched the book on that day as well.
I kind of started this whole thing of give food to the hungry and give clothes to those who do not have, because I was once in that position.
Now, the good thing is he will be in Houston, Texas on the 22nd of this month. That's next Saturday, 11 a.m. at Clinic Hall, Igbo Community Center. His friends in Houston want him to come and launch the book in Houston as well. So if you live in the Houston area, please come out, show him some love. He will be there live and direct. You can ask him questions. You can get to meet him. At least give him some kind of encouragement. He told me that every project that he has ever done so far are all out of his own personal pocket. He said this makes sense to him because he would have been dead a long time ago if he had committed suicide. And if you're not in Houston, Texas, this is his personal phone number. Feel free to give him a call or visit his website if you're interested in what he's doing. But do you know why I decided to share his story today? It's because he says he wants to inspire other people for them to give back, even if they think that it's a little. Sometimes a little goes a long way. He said he has seen how I give shout-outs and encourage Africans who are privileged to do things that will bring credibility to our countries. And so he's hoping that his own story will also help other people strive to do the right thing. In other words, he's saying that we can all give back in one way or the other. So whether you buy his book or not, think about how you can also give back in your community. And while I'm talking about Nicholas, I want to seize that opportunity to thank every one of you that is giving back in one way or the other. There are so many of you that we would never even get to know what you're doing behind the scenes and how you're giving back. I just want you to know that we really, really appreciate you, and you're touching lives, you're changing lives. Thank you so, so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for what every single one of you is doing. God bless you. So if you're in the US or Canada and you're interested in buying his book, he would like to send you a signed copy. And for you to get that, he would love for you to buy the book from nickseries.com. Also, those outside the US and Canada can order the book from Amazon. But the ebook is also available on Seller. So for those that don't have access to Amazon, they can always download the ebook from Seller's website. Once again, don't forget that he'll be in Houston if you would like to meet him. You guys not know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. All right, so did you guys click the thumbs up button? Thank you so much for watching the show. Please don't forget to share. All right, y'all, it's been real, and I'm keeping it right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, I'm watching you on Plasma TV. Press the subscribe button and the bell button. Until next time, I'm going to see you all later. Peace out.